Welcome to Shadows of Dawn.
And welcome to Shadows of Dawn. This is episode 2 of A Time of Troubles. This is the second session for Death of a Baron. And in this episode, our players have learned, of course, if you watched the first episode, that there was an explosion in Glissondale at a warehouse. And unfortunately, the Baron of Sheriff Daniel Warwick of Emdell, who was visiting, was caught in the blast and apparently killed. So, a bevy of our adventurers have decided that they wanted to investigate the warehouse. So, this is where we are going to pick up as our adventurers have traveled here. And we'll do some adventure introductions here in just a second. As soon as I find warehousing. And pull all the players over. So with us, we have Durnavir of the Fellhammer 5. We have the Tremblewinds, Treant and Tella of the Saren Defenders. And we also have Eldor, the Ranger of the Saren Defenders. And joining us on this new adventure is Winston of the Force of Aramar. Of course, as soon as I can find my damn board. Now, gotta get a blank board. Come on now. Sometimes when it loads in, it doesn't load in. And to do it again. Either that or it went somewhere. I'm not finding it. There it is. Whew. Alrighty. Whew. Whew. And let me pull my players in. You have arrived in Glissondale on this day. The day is not a bad weathered day. The sun is shining. Several of you have met up because you know each other, the Saren Defenders. Eldor, Tella, and Treant. And met with Durnavir, of course, because they are friends. As you approach, Winston is standing over here talking to a Glissondale militiaman who seems to be kind of denying access. Eldor, get off the building. Who seems to be denying access to the warehouse, which you kind of see exploded beyond. As he's, Winston, you have kind of engaged. You're like, I just, want to see, I want to check it out. And he's like, I'm not sure I should be letting you through here. It's kind of, what's a crime scene? Winston, you kind of see the man look over your shoulder as you see some people approaching. You do recognize the Tremblewinds, knowing that Elise, your friend, had recently met them both, and of course, they are nobles. So kind of recognize the noble house colors as they approach.
Good day, my lords. Winston, all right? I go by Lucky with among my friends. Family owns a nice little shipwright, the All Right Shipwright in Snowshore. You've probably heard of it. Interested in doing a little investigation here in the warehouse. It looks like y'all guys might be arriving for the same thing.
So Tella and Trian, of course, having met Elise in the Force of Aramar, as his name rings a bell, as he went to school with Elise at that special college.
Oh,
You're quite a whiles away from Snowshore, aren't we?
Aren't we all? I wish to make my mark on this valley. I have learned much from my studies and wish to start adventuring.
well, it's lovely to meet you. I am Marquis Treblewind, and this is Lord Treblewind.
Good day. Good day. Well met.
My lords, I'm sorry, is he with you?
Like, yes.
Nobles.
Yes. Do I
know them.
do I know recognize the soldier?
No, he's faceless militia. He probably doesn't have any serious duties, but you do know, if the noble wants to pass, the noble's going to pass. It's not an immediate danger scene or anything. He's just trying, he's basically been told, try to keep people away if you can.
We're no regular people.
Oh,
We're some of the greatest adventurers.
he's with us. Mr. or Captain, look at his rank.
No,
Private
no.
over here.
He's a very low ranking. He's like, well, yeah, oh, then my apologies. Just do be careful. Most of the cleanup has been done, but there's still work, and we have a couple of workers that are still kind of dealing with some of the debris.
Hope this doesn't bring down my property value.
No worries, friend. Human soldier? No worries at all.
And
What if
see-
my house is on this map?
What's that?
Nothing.
So as you look to your right, there is a crater of a building. Most of the building has been completely blown away. The explosion appears to have even gone down into the floor. Two men are in front of you, kind of moving rocks and picking up debris as they kind of put it into a cart.
I'm gonna fly up and get a good layout.
Alrighty.
Like, just see as much as I can see.
I will give you the ability to fly as you take flight. So you can look around. You can see that the building to the west also pretty much had most of its eastern wall kind of sheared off. And the building to the south, likewise, also has most of its northern wall kind of sheared off by the blast. Some of the
Like an
walls,
arguing couple was exposed.
yeah, there is you do see people moving about in there. One of them has bandages kind of wrapped around their arm and head, as they appear to be kind of, cleaning up in their area as well. To the east, you notice there is a man, a dwarf, who has a donkey and a cart, and is coming in and out of the eastern section, slowly. Looks like he is loading some things up on a cart.
And do you have my spell book handy, AJ? You can drop in.
Let's see here. I do not, but it does not permit me from making it.
Like a spell book.
Yeah.
Start seeing it through the nooks and crannies too.
Let's see here. That would be miscellaneous interior. Alright, let me zoom in here. Make a spellbook. Done.
Bye.
And let's make it live. Let's make it flying. Let's light it up.
Your spellbook flies with you.
I just let go of my spell book and it starts flying in the nooks and crannies and stuff around here.
And let's make it unique.
Spellbooks. What a novelty.
Let's name it
Right.
Instance Spellbook. And
I'm just
last
mad
but
because one
not
of my wizards destroyed their spellbook.
Last but not least, let's not give Logan permission. Let's give Apache permission. There you go.
You were a little too quick. I was about to start flinging it all over the place.
So yes, his book kind of takes flight as it, and you kind of can see Winston's eyes glaze over a little bit. You kind of recognize the look as though a wizard looking through a familiar's eyes.
Mm. All right. Well, first things in order. Let's search the place.
All right. In order to do so, you will have to move into the cavities and crevices.
That's what the book's for.
Well, searching also involves investigation, involves hands. Perception is just looking. So,
Yeah, I'm just gonna do perceptions of the book to start with.
all righty.
I think I see some sort of gate back here.
And
I'll do a
15
perception.
15
well.
from the book.
All right.
My perception isn't great. Natural one. You got a 2.
Yeah. Durnavir, as you look around,
I blinked.
this place blew
There's
up.
nothing.
This place on fire!
It appears to be an explosion of some sort.
Winston, flying the book around and up and down and all around, you can tell 3 things. There was an explosion emanating from definitely one side of the warehouse. 2, you believe the explosion was ground level, powerful, and didn't cause a lot of fire after the fact. From looking at the scorch marks, it was like a flash of fire. And 3, it does not appear that it was a fireball spell, nor does it appear that the explosion was oil-based. Oil doesn't explode like this, it will burn. And
So
I
can
will,
I tell if it's magical or like mechanical in nature? Or was it, like
Could have been a
gunpowder?
metal fire.
I will place the 3 things that you learned in Discord.
A magnesium explosion.
You also said this worker right here is loading a cart, correct?
Yes, the 2 workers that are close by that first cart are moving debris. They have some shovels, just picking up. Excuse me, my lord, as they kind of, they will move around you unless kind of engaged.
I was wondering, do you mind if I look through your cart?
Of course, Marquis. It's only rock and debris. I don't think there's anything you'd want your hands dirty with.
Oh, I'm not one of the Tendleton nobility. I enjoy getting dirty.
Tendleton. I tend to thought Tendleton Noble were dirty.
Oh well, they're dirty more in ethics.
Ethics? What are ethics?
What are ethics?
As I'm investigating, I'm explaining the basics of ethics. Like, it's about how we relate to each other, and it's actually how we create our societies and why we work together.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Nine.
Looking through the rocks, basically mostly rocks. You can see that some do have, small scorch marks here and there, or it could just be dirt that rubbed on rocks and stained it. Some of the rocks you can tell were probably stones in the walls. Others are just so much smaller. They may have fragmented from something else. There's nothing that seems to be loose within the carts, nor does it appear that they are hiding anything, but they watch you kind of dig through their cart with interest and see what. I've never seen a noble do this before.
So I'm going to cast intelligence enhanceability on myself.
All right, enhance ability. So
I'm going to start investigating.
Yeah, I'll investigate it down here as well. Or I'm probably better off assisting you.
I already got advantage.
Okay.
I'll pop an enhanceability on everyone.
I like
level
who asked.
4.
I wonder if it's insurance covered. Actually,
Okay.
you're not even sure of the name of the place. to be honest with you.
I got a dirty 20 on investigation there. I'm standing.
Alrighty. And what was the other investigation?
14.
14. Looking throughout the warehouse. It's the investigation. This will take you a little time. Let me see if anybody else is doing something while you guys are investigating. Tella, Eldor, do we have a microphone yet? Or Eldor? Eldor's along for the ride. He may have to type in Tailspire chat.
I'm going to pop an enhanced ability on me and Treant, and if anyone else wants one.
Enhance ability on you and Treant? Okay. Well,
Yeah, is anyone? Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a higher level spell then?
Yes, it'd be third level if
Yeah.
if one other person wants it, but I can even go up to fourth level.
If you don't mind, cousin, do you mind including Eldor and our friend Donavir?
I've
So I
never
will
used
cast
enhance
it.
ability. What does that do?
He's advantage.
Advantage on your intelligence-based checks. Because he's using, what is it, Fox's Cunning?
They didn't call him out anymore. It just says intelligence.
Yeah, they took him away.
Yeah, it's the old Fox's Cunning, I think.
Yeah, no, I liked it when they had the name.
Could I re-roll that investigation then?
No.
Oh, well, I already made my check.
Yeah,
Oh.
you did. You're down there looking.
And then I'm going to take off on my broom and get a bird's eye view.
All right. Let me
It's a
give
witch.
you,
Shoot
Let's
it.
see.
let me give
Witch!
the amazing flying Teletrimble in. Ooh.
What would I do?
14.
Did you find what you're looking for, my Lord?
So does this round of investigation
Oh,
reveal anything?
I found plenty of information, and it's really great to talk to the people who keep Glissondale running.
Oh,
He's gonna offer a handshake to them directly, because I'm guessing their hands are also dirty.
yeah. He wipes his hands on his pants to try to give you the best presentable hand as possible, and he shakes your hand. He's like, I'm Varon Dubois. Oh, wait, no, he's not. He is, Tavin. His name is Tavin. I'm Tavin.
Tavin?
And that's Borlop. Hello.
Tavern?
Hello.
Lovely to meet you.
Oh, you as well.
I'm
Clean
going to
hands are
continue
necessary
investigating.
for maintaining sanitary. If I see any of you at my clinic, I will not be happy.
Well, unfortunately, no bodies today.
Anything else you've seen then? Since you said you haven't seen bodies, what have you seen?
Not today. Oh, yeah. Me and Tavin were part of the first cleanup crew. I guess we did good. They gave us another day.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We helped pull one body out. They found it later. They told us it was the owner, Mr. Turnbull. Yeah. I heard there was also a woman died right here where we was standing. And how many was inside? There were 3 inside, including that Baron. So we was told.
All right.
I will put that information in.
It was Tavern and
I will put their names in there.
okay.
Tavin and Borlop.
Did there look like there was shrapnel that embedded itself into the northern structures?
That will be part of an investigation. And
Okay.
I'll get back to you as soon as just 1 second. Tella, you said you were going to cast your spell and take off and do what?
A bird's eye view. I rolled a 14 or perception.
Perception? So you likewise notice the same 3 things that Winston noticed, up to Was not a fireball. The explosion was not oil-based. Looking. Eldor, do you have a microphone yet? He's still checking on Eldor. No, he's still more. Poor Eldor. Type in, if you want to do something, Eldor, just type it in Tailspire so that we can see if there's, just use the enter key.
Click in Tailspire and press enter.
Yeah.
You have advantage on wisdom checks.
Wisdom checks? Okay.
Intelligence checks, isn't it, for investigation?
Intelligence checks.
Oh, intelligence checks. My bad. Oh, yeah.
Fox is cunning, not owl. Owls.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to those investigating warehouse. So with the 20, Winston does come across a couple of more pieces of information. And I'm going to go ahead and add these to the current, we'll call it warehouse investigation in the notes. All right. The warehouse itself was mostly empty, which is kind of weird. The amount of storage debris isn't much. It's mostly building debris that you're seeing around, i.e., it did not store a lot of things here. You do manage to find papers left behind that show that business was slow, at least for the last year and a half. The name of the place itself, interestingly enough, is called All Things Stored. The next thing that you find is a peculiar black residue near the center where the explosion must have been. It smells musty, sulfuric, and compares to rotten eggs, and the wood particles nearby have a sharp, smoky odor, almost like a black powder.
Do we know about gunpowder or not?
Well, you know that there is an alchemical reagent called black powder. It's actually been shipped in. Actually, Winston, this is really good for Winston because he would know that black powder is shipped in from across the sea. You don't see a lot of it. Highly coveted.
I've heard about this substance. It comes on boats from across the sea. It can be quite explosive if when lit.
In Elvish. Oh, great. That's all we need. Snowshore Harbor.
May I make a history check on that?
Yeah. You can make an which one? History, or you can make history or Arcana, or actually you can do both. Each one.
I'll start with history. 15. I rolled 2 6s.
15. You are also familiar with the kind of the term in the residue that comes from across the sea. That's all you really know.
And a 23 on Arcana.
You are very familiar with the explosive capabilities of black powder. You do know that it is can be lit by fire. They also can use something, kind of this cord that can be lit. They call it a fuse. That is like a slow timer. It will create a sparkle, chewing up through this like piece of string, and will also light it. But any contact with fire can instantly detonate black powder, and it doesn't take much to do serious damage. Basically, even small chunks, just the size of a thumb, is enough to propel objects or to, create damage to small things like a hand or, a foot. But once it gets fist size and bigger, it can potentially kill a person.
So do we know why the Baron was here?
The rumor that was in the article does tell you that he was the story goes that while visiting Glissondale prior to the fall festival, he was taking stock of wine barrels and ale, presumably for the upcoming festival itself, when the building simply exploded in a ball of fire. There was a sketch of a building And the ale was listed as Glamour Mountain Wine and Ale Distribution, a small distribution company that was about to make its debut at the fall festival.
Do you know anything about that distributor?
No, but you do know, or the Trumblewinds know that Bran was looking into the distributor. Bran Silverhill, a member of the Saren Defenders, was following the lead on the distributor.
Would investigation be able to tell us, was there any liquid here when this explosion happened? Like, were the barrels, I'm guessing the barrels were probably filled with a black powder, right? So there wasn't any ale here?
Don't know.
That?
It's been a couple of days since, and yeah, you've done your investigation, and that was all the info you got.
All right.
Well, it seems like we found our culprit for the explosion.
Or at least the tool.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have just been an accident, an unfortunate accident, but it could have been an accident.
So what's over here, AJ? Is this like an office or?
Yeah, it's basically kind of the lower section, the inside of the warehouse, and apart from debris, you can still see some stuff that is over there, and of course there is a dwarf that kind of comes inside. You're like, "Good day," as he kind of cocks a barrel, picks it up, and begins to roll it outside to a cart.
I'm doing an investigation check over here for the, I guess, the office space, whatever this might be.
You already did. That was
Oh, did I?
part of the investigation.
All right, what about back?
Anything interesting about this gate or bars over here?
Gate or bars over here? Let me find. No, probably sewer drain.
Is this an alleyway back here?
It is an alleyway.
Anything back here that might give a clue to anything?
It might. You never know.
Throw
You hear two people kind of talking over here. No, put it over here. Here, let me help you with that.
Oh, natural 20 for investigation back here.
Alrighty. Looking around back here, you can tell that the explosion did not happen back here. For whatever reason, this alleyway, at a certain point, seemed to be kind of safe. It does look like the door, kind of like the area where you are standing, was blown out, as well as the damage to the building to your south, across the way. So whatever it was kind of exploded from down towards an upwards trajectory, probably, and across the way into the building over there. Other than that, the alleyway in and of itself is not yielding any big clues, as it's mostly stone, and it's probably been swept and cleaned up by either the cleanup crew or maybe even the people. Because
What's in these barrels?
excuse me, my lord, I need to take that one.
Now, hang on a second.
Well,
What's in here first?
it's my job.
Well,
In Dwarvish, I will speak to him. Actually, do you have a second, sir? If you want, we can stand by the barrel.
Oh yeah, sure. What can I do you for?
Well, how much is one of these barrels?
I don't know. Not really my business. I was just simply sent to get what was owed to the O'Brien Brewery.
Oh, no, because we're here sent for the investigation.
Oh. Did you find anything? Did you catch the people who done it?
Oh, we're actually still investigating, which is why we would like to investigate the barrels, if you wouldn't mind. We'll seal them back up.
Oh, sure. Hey, have a look. He kind of steps back. He's got a crowbar. He can help you look. His name is Peter Johns. He's a porter. Just hired to haul away some of the supplies. The stuff that he seems to be hauling are King's Ale from the O'Brien Brewery. There seems to be 3 barrels there that he's concerned with. The other barrels he's not concerned with.
Okay. Of the 3 he's concerned with, let's open them.
Okay. As you open the 3, kind of look in, you can tell that they are all liquid substance. Smell of ale.
Hmm. Um.
Well, let's try some.
Um,
Is it still good?
But that's technically
Uh,
theft of property.
you
So
know, Bryan family probably wouldn't like that.
Okay. Fine, nobles.
I mean,
Nobles.
between me's and you's, if there's any ale in those barrels over there, I wouldn't mind a nip myself.
Yeah, I just want to check the remaining barrel, see if there's anything that might be
Looking
someplace
at
there.
you can crack the remaining barrels. Inside the remaining barrels, you find there are 3 more barrels that are left inside. Barrels he's not concerned with. One barrel contains pickled beets. The other 2 contain nails, which is not highly unusual, especially
No.
for shipbuilders. You've seen barrels of nails come to you.
But why here? So if you have an explosion with a whole bunch of nails nearby, what would happen?
Nails probably fly all over the place. But it's
Right?
funny, you
So-
don't really see nails scattered all over the place here. And
Oh, good
these
point.
barrels
So-
were probably far from the blast.
Okay. Bummer. There goes that idea.
Hmm.
Um,
I'd like to investigate this upstairs area.
You already did.
Oh.
That was part of your
Well, then.
investigation.
I'll always look under
I
the
got
carpet.
this.
Just move the carpet aside.
Under the
Anything
building?
under the carpet?
Nothing's under the carpet.
I just had to check.
Carpet's
Big ass-
pretty much scorched and shredded.
You guys red carpet there in the middle of the room. Had to check. All right.
Sorry, I was trying to make it look nice.
All right. Yeah. So during yeah, and you check this grate down here. There's nothing of interest there.
Just goes to the sewer.
No.
So-
Anything come from that idea of north side shrapnel?
Only check the alleyway. Didn't really go across the street or anything.
Then I'll check across the street, see if there's any shrapnel or
Okay.
damage to
Alright.
either this platform or the building across.
All right, give me an investigation check.
At advantage.
Trying to determine if there's a direction or not. I do have enhance ability right now,
Yes.
so even with my +1, that is a 16.
Obviously rocks and stones, and is that hair? Oh my God! Somebody was obviously hit very bad. There is blast debris, but you're not seeing anything like nails or there's wood, splintered wood, and small pieces of metal, like probably a barrel's ring metal, things like that, but only like a piece. Now, a lot of it may have been cleaned up, but obviously the small chunks, you can definitely tell that it blew out this direction. And you can see on the wooden structure that you're standing on, like some of the fence was probably blown off because you can easily fall off.
Okay.
And underneath it, there's, dirt, small rock. But if cleaning the street was a priority, which it probably was, they probably picked up most of the big chunks. However, you can tell that some of the ash and debris goes clear across the street to the buildings on the other side, as well as probably into the little market that sits over there as well.
Damn. So Porter, where you all the stuff that you've removed from here? Where did it go? Where'd you take it?
Right there in that cart. I just sent to get these 3 barrels this morning.
What about the people that are cleaning up the stones and stuff from the explosion?
I don't know them. I believe they're part of the cleanup crew. I'm just a porter.
I'm gonna help him seal up the barrels, and then I'm gonna offer him a mug of beer. If he has, do you have a mug on you,
Of course,
Peter John?
I'm a dwarf. Always have me a mug.
Always at the red.
I apologize. I can't make ale, but
Oh.
and I'm gonna
I
take my
can,
alchemy glove,
Illifarn.
and pour some beer into his mug
Ah, nice
as a
beer.
gift
Nice.
from the Treblewind for helping our investigation.
Of course, of course.
Tell me, Porter, does this warehouse have a house cat, one that keeps the rodents and mice away? And did it make the explosion?
Well, I wouldn't rightly know. This warehouse is not exactly something I've been used to coming. In fact, this will be my first time here. I was told where I could find the barrels, though, and I was told the door would be unlocked. Not that I would have needed the door. I could have gone around through the rubble. But I was just sent here by the O'Brien family to retrieve any barrels or the several barrels that remained. I was told that there were some that remained. They seem to be a few short, though, of what I was told. But I'm bringing back all the ones that I can find that has the O'Brien label.
Let's see.
So all the ale that came in should have been from the O'Brien Distillery or whatever it's called, right?
I don't know much about that other than there's just some barrels stored here from the family. I don't know who brought what's in. Maybe somebody around here might know.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost. I guess we got to ask her. I like the idea of the house cat, though, man. We can find that. Gotta be
If
something.
it didn't get blown to smithereens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
14 people and one cat
I think
died in fire explosion.
Might have been the hair that I found. Could have been the cat.
Exactly. That's what-
Whatever's left of the
Yeah.
cat.
There was a loud cry. That was a
Going to offer Tavin and Burlop a mug of beer as well.
Oh,
because
no.
I can drink gallons.
They will gladly accept and take a small break.
And then I'm going over to the apothecary.
Okay. So
I'll walk over to Tavin also. Like, do you know there was a cat around here?
let's see. Where is Telly?
Where he's supposed to be.
Telly
I'm
is
next to Eldor.
Telly's standing next to Eldor. Eldor looks at you like, I have no idea.
I don't know where. Where are they? Let me see.
It was
Human
Telly.
soldier.
It was Telly.
Derby swine.
Are you looking for
Are they-
Tavin?
I guess.
Yeah, you're right next to him. He's by the cart
Oh.
right here.
Oh, that's the one that commoner. Okay.
Tavin and Borlop, they don't know.
Yeah.
They're not familiar with the area. They're just part of hired cleanup.
May I make an investigation check to see if I can find any signs of animal life here? Are there a cat living here or some rats? If I can try to track rats.
Well, you're in Glissondale. You know there's rats.
Yeah. Right,
That's just a given. You
I
can
prefer cats,
you can give me an investigation check.
Okay.
As you begin to kind of look for something very specific.
12.
If there was a cat, you're not seeing any signs left behind that there was.
Okay.
All right. Triet, as you approach, a man comes towards you. He's like, "Oh, good morning. What can I do for you? We need some apples? How about baked pie? We got some good pies this morning."
I would love a pie. What type of pies do you have?
Yep. We have apple and got the blueberry, and we got Mom's favorite, peach. We do make a pumpkin, but it won't be ready till about noon.
Oh, you said the peach is your favorite? I'll try a peach.
All righty. He's like, "You're gonna like the peach. The peach is very nice, and the peach is very ripe." So go ahead and pay your lifestyle payment for a day, for today. And all of you can, if that way you can. Anything that comes up, you will be able to use your information or whatever if you make a lifestyle payment for.
I've
today.
prepaid for a year.
All righty. So, it is just one pie?
Would you send 3, 1, 2, and I'll point to Tavern and Borlop and the dwarf and Peter Johns.
Sure, absolutely. Although that will go past your daily payment, you will need to add 2 more gold. So I think your
Okay.
limit is 2 gold. So they are preparing them as you stay there.
I'm aristocratic, so that is 10 gold.
Oh,
per day.
10 gold. Oh, okay. You're 10 gold per day. Well, wait, does it? Yeah, but what's the fees? Under the label of aristocratic, I think it waives any fee of 2 gold or less.
That I don't know, but like,
Should be the definition on the right side of lifestyle.
let's do 2 gold, just to be safe. What's 2 gold? Whatever.
So basically, the pies were 1 gold, so you're getting 4 pies, so you only owe 2 more.
Okay.
Kind of how it works.
Um,
You're paying the difference.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over here, and I would like to try to talk to these 3 people as a group.
Oh, okay. Well, one of them is just a customer. She's waiting on her pie. But
Okay.
yeah, you can talk to them.
Did you guys see anything with the explosion? Like, are you from this part of town?
Well, the customer says she heard it. She wasn't here. But Mr. George Papali and his wife there who worked there, Wanda Papali, the explosion did rock the area, sprayed debris all over the place, drove off the customers, and it ruined business for that day. And the militia quickly came, found out what happened, and spent all day cleaning up. They watched what was everything that was going on, but they were quite miffed about the lack of business that day. You can definitely tell it is a sore spot with them because, the business that they lost to the day, to them, it is a lot. And I'll put this in your notes.
Well, how many pies do you sell in a day, generally?
Maybe 3 or 4. On a really good day, maybe 5 or 6. I mean, lots of competition in Glissondale.
I'm gonna try the peach pie. How's the pie?
It's
not very
she'll
good.
cut you a slice and give you a small plate and a fork. And it's actually pretty good. Give
And
me an insight check.
give me a con save now. 19.
As you keep kind of asking questions, you can tell they are a little nervous about your inquisitiveness. Something about your questioning makes them a little bit nervous, but you can't really put your finger on exactly what.
Okay. Well, I'm
Kind of an inking
I'm
suspicion in the back of your head. If you probably press on them, it might shut them down. So,
yeah, he'll be like, I'm so sorry. Also because one of his ideals is like to be a hero for the common people. He's like, I'm so sorry. You seem really nervous. I'm just wondering, if you don't mind. You said that you sell about 5 pies a day, and you said you had a horrible day that day. Here's 5 gold to pay for the pies. That this horrible accident caused.
you're too kind. You're too kind, Marquis. You're too kind. Thank you.
Alms for the poor wizard too.
If you think of anything, just please send word or come to my estates, and you fed me, I'll feed you.
Of course.
It won't be as good as this pie. This is heavenly.
Of course.
All right, so what have
See
we
what's
learned?
going on over here.
Actionable.
Let's see. Where is Durnavir? Durnavir's asking about what's over here.
There's a cheese and some
Yeah.
pigs on
let's
posts.
see. Shop vendor. Where are you? All right. Yeah. Yeah. And he basically sells cheese.
I like cheese.
He's like, yeah, good day. Would you like me to cut the cheese? You see what I did there? You can tell
What's
he
your
is
best
he is in a
cheese?
wheeled chair. His legs look quite injured, actually, as they are wrapped.
What would you say is your best cheese?
Oh, well, we got good blue cheese. Just had it in today. Our cheddar's nice and sharp. And we have a Gouda. It's very Gouda, if you don't mind me saying so.
I do like Gouda. I'd like some Gouda.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to wander over to where Durnavir is with the cheese.
All
Where
right.
is he?
Durnavir is over in this direction.
I'm just across the street
and to the east.
from that pie shop. Does the wheelchair look new?
No, it looks crappy, actually.
No.
I mean, maybe new to him. Not exactly buy him brand new.
Oh, you're behind a big tree. That's why I can't see.
Now his bandages look kind of recent.
If you don't mind me asking, yeah, you know about that explosion right there around the corner, right?
Do I? I was walking past when it happened. It just cleared just cleared the corner over there, and some rocks and stuff hit me in my legs. And Doc says I might not walk right after one knee heals up. Well, he says the other one is gonna be crooked as a tree branch.
Oh no, well, I'm very glad you're still with us. You may want to come by the clinic sometime. I might be able to have a look at that. See if I can't do anything more for you.
Oh, what clinic might that be?
Oh, why, it's Dernevir's clinic, named after myself.
You're Durnevere? Of the Dernevere's clinic? Hey!
Is I?
Wow! What? I heard good things about you. In fact, I heard that somebody did a lesser restoration on my cousin Pete. He got sick with that yellow death that's going around. Fortunately, I don't talk to too many people. I try to keep my distance.
That's good. You were walking by when the explosion happened. What did you notice anything suspicious?
Give me
Anything weird?
You can give me a persuasion or an intimidation check. In this case, probably a persuasion.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm so glad you're okay. Did you notice anything weird?
Tell me now, you crippled man.
The Batman.
Hang on. Okay, nope, not a blue dragon. I do not get advantage. Persuasion.
Alrighty.
I don't like that, but that's a 10.
Alrighty. I heard the explosion. Yeah. I mean, I heard it, and then I felt it. Didn't really feel it quite at first. Head was all fuzzy. But people came running to see if anything was burning or not. Wasn't. It was awful. Legs looked terrible. He said you might ask around now. All the people who live around here, they may have seen something.
Yeah, that's about what I'm doing right now. I'm
Sorry I
currently
couldn't
on
be
an
more helpful.
active investigation, trying to figure out what happened.
Oh, yeah. A terrible thing it was. Baron Noble got caught in the blast. Now, what he's doing now, who rightly knows? That storage facility doesn't seem to hold much. Not a lot of traffic.
Who was it that she said?
What's that?
Who was it?
The storage facility. It doesn't hold a lot. There's not a lot of traffic.
No, who? The what noble? What did who?
Oh,
did
that Baron.
She say?
The Baron that
Baron.
died got, that was horrible.
Ah. Excuse me. How is the Gouda?
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Glissondale's got some pretty good street salesmen. They're not bad. Not bad at all.
I'll have to bring some of this back for the staff at the clinic.
All right. You can get a wheel for about 5 silver.
Yeah, I'll take a wheel.
All right. It's wheel
Thank you.
Gouda, he says.
Thank you for the cheese. It's most excellent, and I do hope I see you soon. I'd really love to help you with your injuries. Thank you for your time.
All right. Now let's go to somebody else. Let's see. I see Winston at the explosion site. Eldor still at the explosion site. Eldor's got to work on a microphone. Where did Tella go? Where did the Tella go?
Oh, it's flying around.
Oh, Tella's probably higher than my cut. There, yeah, he is. Alrighty. Who next?
We want to group up. I mean, do we want to group? I mean, do we have anything actionable? We just know it's gunpowder. We know the L should have come from the O'Brien distillery or whatever. The Duke was here checking the L for the festival. So the gunpowder would have had to come in from Snowshore, right?
What's a gunpowder?
The black powder.
Black powder. Oh, black powder.
Yeah, sorry, the black powder.
More
That
than
would have come
likely.
from, right?
I mean, it's the only place you've ever heard it came from was across the sea. I mean, being a shipwright, you've heard it, mentioned.
Where is that distillery? Is that in Snowshore?
Yeah.
What distillery?
O'Brien.
O'Brien family is a Glissondale family. They're
Is
a
it?
noble family. Yeah. King's Ale is what he was taking out. It's one of their brands that comes from Glissondale. It's Glissondale. The O'Brien family is known for brewing. One of the things that they are known for.
What's happening with
Shipping
the
cost.
building to the west? Are they doing anything?
To the west, you don't see any people in there, actually. Nope. Or
Was-
actually,
was it a-
actually, yeah, you do. There is a couple people.
Was that included in our investigation?
He's
of this
he's now staring. No, the west building is different. He's now staring at Telef and you flying around, just kind of mouth agape.
Mhm.
I think we should check out this
And
place.
and after a while, eventually, like the two people in the east building that were cleaning are also kind of looking up. One, that's like the woman who's got her arm in a sling, kind of tugs on her husband and points in the air, and now they're both kind of staring at.
Fella, we're attracting attention.
Yes, I do that everywhere I go.
I will descend slowly.
I am a spell song after all.
Fancy.
As you kind of start to go in his house, he starts coming down the stairs. He's like, "Can I help you?" "Get out of my house."
Whose house?
Didn't
thought this
even
was
let
the-
me answer first. Yes, you could be helpful.
You could be helpful.
You could be helpful.
Uh,
That-
They
that
blew
remains
off the
to be
whole side
discovered.
of my house. It's gone.
This is precisely what we're trying to help with.
What am I gonna
Um,
do?
How do I move?
We
How
noticed
do I
the
move my
vicinity,
token down?
and we would like to see if there's any debris remaining in your home that could point us in the right direction to find out what may have happened here.
Free. I swept it all out. I gotta clean up. Now I gotta build a whole wall. You think I have crazy insurance or something?
Oh my! I'm just gonna prestidigitation what he's complaining about.
Such a fine establishment. I'm sure your insurance is great.
I mean, he looks like he's decently well off, not really poor. It does look like a home for the most part, but you can tell that, there's obviously he's cleaned up quite a bit in this area, but the whole side of his this 2-story little apartment is just blasted away. It took a good
Okay.
deal of damage.
So it's not a messy. It's just not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
basically tell that kind of the seam between the two buildings. There may have been a small alleyway, maybe not. The buildings may have been just abutted against each other. But it took out his entire wall, possibly where his fireplace was, at least one.
You did do a very good job cleaning here. I fear there might not be much to look at.
He's like, "I wasn't here when it happened. I was away on business. I come back
I was going to ask him if we,
and everything's gone. What am I gonna
Most
do?"
fortunate.
Was anyone here?
He kind of points to the south. He says, "I think the Dubois were around. Their house got blown up too." "Oh, Dubois, they don't make as much as I do. I'm gonna have to get this all fixed. I spent a fortune the first time. It's gonna take all my savings."
Maybe we ought to have a chat with them. Here, this may help alleviate your struggles. I will toss him a platinum piece.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Damn, where's this watch all this money go to other people? It's like, what the hell, man?
Winston's gonna go to the next house, just knock it over and take it over and be like, "Hey,
Hey, I can use some platinum.
He's like,
I hate to see the people.
thank you, my lord. Good gracious. Oh, I have to.
Plus, if you ever get sick and comes to my clinic, I'm getting that money right back.
All right, so I'm at a loss, folks. Anything actual that we learned? I mean,
We haven't talked to the south, to the building in the south people.
Also, I want to talk to the people in the inn over here.
Alrighty. Let's go to the people to the inn real quick. As I tried to follow. Where did Trina
It's
go?
next to the pie shop.
Oh, that's not. That's an inn. This is like an eating area here in the middle, in between some cellars. This is like a little farmer's market, if you will.
Oh, I just saw that one person's called the innkeeper, so I
Oh,
assumed this
okay.
was like.
He's Bob. Yeah. So to make this one, this is pretty simple. You're talking to witnesses on the street. You can give me a persuasion or intimidation.
Which I have advantage on because I have aristocratic, right?
Well, let's see. No, I don't think. Does it give advantage?
Or is it pluses?
You do have. So here's a couple of things you may have. Let's look at your Glissondale renown as well, because that, I believe, will affect your persuasion.
26.
So, and if you look at your renown tracker for Glissondale, you may have, let's see.
I have 1 infamy, 25 fame.
Yeah, well, what's your total fame is 25. No, your total renown is 25.2. So that gives you a +2 on persuasion and intimidation in Glissondale.
A +2?
Yeah.
You said?
I should probably look at that.
Okay.
Yep.
Roll high.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
probably have a lot.
oh yeah,
I got
you have a
unbelievable.
you have a +2 as well, Durnavir.
Oh,
I'm going to re-roll that with inspiration. And get another 2. So how about an 11?
So as you kind of talk to some of them, those two right there, you heard that they both heard the explosion, and both of them came running to see if anything was on fire. It was awful. Other than that, they didn't really see much.
Okay.
So let's go back to who was talking to people on the south.
I was.
Durnavir. Anyone else over here talking to the people in the south? Going once. Going twice. Okay. Only Durnavir. All right. And as you kind of float down, they both kind of look at you. They're like, "That's a fancy trick. Huh. Are those real wings?"
They are incorporeal. They I think they should be able to see through them slightly.
The lady's like, "Well, they look very pretty."
Oh, thank you. I made them myself.
Huh.
Were you two here when the explosion happened?
He looks at his wife, who's got bandages all over.
Yeah, like I presume at least one of you were.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were here. Oh, my goodness. And our friend, poor. Oh, man. It's just terrible what happened to Mr. Turnbull. Yeah, he was killed in the blast. And unfortunately, let's see. George was killed too. George is the porter. He works for Mr. Turnbull. He brings supplies in and unloads. Always parks back here in the alley. Poor guy was killed. And I think it was my fault. He's like, Ellen kind of like, "It wasn't your fault, darling. You see, Varen here, they identify themselves as Varen Dubois and his wife, Ellen Dubois. Varen here invited George in for some morning eggs. George is such a nice man. Yeah, took him about 15 minutes. He was unloading some barrels. He was. And looked like he had a heap of them, too. About 10 or 11 by my count. He just started. I didn't want to interrupt him, but the eggs was going to be fresh. And George came in, and he had a bit to eat. And he was just on his way back out. And the boom. Oh, this is terrible. Wife was standing near the door. Knocked the walls in and fell on her and everything. We took her over to that Dernevir's clinic. Got all patched up. They did a right good job on her.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, just about to suggest myself that you come by my clinic if you need any injuries further attended to.
Oh, well, who's your clinic?
Why, Dernevir's clinic.
You're the
For
Dernevere?
I
Why,
am
look, Alan,
Dernevere.
it's the Dernevere himself. Hey, we've heard about you. All famous and stuff. Yeah. Oh, no, your clinic was really nice. Yeah. I had just walked back inside from the outside there when the explosion happened. George never did finish unloading those barrels. Had he not come in for the eggs, he probably would have finished and gone and still been alive. Ellen here only had some minor bruises since the wall was between them and here. The cleaning work crew that came by working pretty hard up until today. They had most of the large pieces hauled away. But
Was George acting strangely while you were
no,
during your hospitality?
George seemed normal. Well, like I say, he didn't even finish his job. Barrels were left outside.
Were those barrels claimed?
I rightly don't know what happened to those barrels, as I had to rush my wife away. Get some help. There was people all over the place, people running and scattering. And he said his job was half done. He only had a few more to take off the cart, so half his load would have been inside.
So George was a porter. Do I know where George...
He worked for Mr.
Ported.
Turnbull, he did.
Where... From where?
Right there. He points across the street to the All Things store. He obviously was a worker for the storage company.
I don't suppose you know where the barrels are coming from, would you?
No, he didn't say.
Any markings on the barrels that could have caught your eye?
I didn't have a look. Did you? Ellen shakes her head. She's like, I never stepped outside.
Well, thank you very much for your time. If
You're
your
welcome.
wounds ever need further attending to, please stop by and take this as a courtesy, and I'll hand her a platinum.
All right. Oh, thank you, Mr. Dernevere. Yeah, very nice. And I will place these notes in.
AJ, I'm heading out, so I'm just on my phone now.
Gotcha.
FYI.
All righty.
And they always say the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime, right? So I'm just kind of keep an eye out. Anybody looking suspicious walking around and stuff like that while we're doing all this.
There are people walking around. You can ask some people on the street. And actually, I think let's go over to Trent, who was going to talk. Oh, no, Trent talked to the innkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have already talked to the cheese vendor, but there are people on the street
Okay.
all around.
You already did an investigation on the
Tell
alleyway, right? Never found any traces of...
Let's go to Tella.
Anything.
Hang on a second.
When you get the chance, I'm over at. I guess this is a watchtower.
Let's see. I'm on Tella. I just don't see Tella. Tella must be flying high.
Oh,
he's
by
really
the
high.
cheese. Yeah.
Is this
Wow.
a watchtower?
It is a storage facility. It has a lift, and it will store things like way up high, way down low. Not really a watchtower. per se.
Can I look real quick at just a quick glance at the crates and stuff and see if I can find a marking or a,
Sure.
a stamp of?
Yeah, give me a
Would that be an investigation or perception?
perception.
Perception.
Perception. Eyes on.
Dirty 20.
Let's see. No markings that you would recognize. There are markings, obviously, but if you're looking for like the O'Brien factory, you're not seeing.
I'm gonna yell down at the cheesemonger and be like, "You there?
people start.
Cheesemonger.
People are looking up as you're flying around. Everybody's kind of.
Cheese man.
Who uses this storage facility up here?
He's like, lots of people actually. It's quite busy. It's small, but I use it often. Heck, I've used it on occasion. It's called Vertical Storage Incorporated.
Vertical storage. Let's see. Well, if anyone was here during the time of the explosion, you have the chance of meeting the tremendous troubadour and talented, triumphant, and truth and tuneful titan, Trella Tremblewind. Come up, meet me. It would be your honor. And I'm just
Only
like,
us can fly.
We can't get up there.
I thought you said everyone had access to this.
Well, only if the doors are unlocked and they can get in and store something there.
And who would have the ability to do that?
The owner. They're like,
And the owner is...
Mr. Clark. And anybody who's storing anything, they might have the. Can you come down so we don't have to yell?
I would, but I don't remember how to use this.
It's the alt button.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can also tell the DM to turn off your flying, and you'll drop
Well,
like a pancake.
It's control.
Oh,
They
control.
don't know how to fly.
Oh, sorry,
Forgive them.
control button. Yeah. And thud. There.
How's that?
Yeah, you can ask people in the street if you want to. Give me a persuasion or intimidation check. In fact, there's a man walking by right in front of you who was looking up your kilt the whole way. He's like, that was nice.
22.
22. Well done. As you ask him kind of what he saw, he says the following. He's like, yeah, I saw a whole thing go down. It was he basically said there was a loud explosion. Everyone came running, see if remnants on fire. It was awful. He said, but what all people didn't see is the fancy man entering in the morning. He and the owner, Mr. Turnbull, seemed to get along. It was a few minutes, and then the boom. I heard there was a baron inside. But what really caught my eye as I watched afterwards, later that afternoon, during the cleanup, the Papalis over there. I believe they liberated several barrels from the back alley. Said, now, if you be with the law, don't you be telling them I done told them. I mean, the pies are pretty good, but, you know, finders keepers. Nobody else was going to use them.
My dear,
Insight
when
check.
Right. I'm sorry?
Insight check. I'm right next to them.
Sure. Wait, give me an insight check.
10.
Seems to be honest. He's not asking for money.
in which alley did you say they leapt through?
On the south side of the building. I was coming up the street this way in the morning.
Interesting. Tell me, in this quarter here in the city, is that the highest point? The vertical storage? Or is there, I see there's a house on the far northern end.
Only what you
Is that
see.
a house or
Building. Only what you see.
witch's soup?
I mean, only what you see. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
There's some pretty tall buildings around here. But basically, he says the Papalis liberated some barrels after the explosion. And they probably have them in their shop.
So, yeah, are you sharing that information? Because we definitely want to take into that.
Yes. Eventually, when we thank the man, I'm going to tell him, please, if you ever get a chance, just stop by the Trimblewind estate. We would like to thank you.
Ah, yeah. would you mind? Would you do me a little favor then? I got a copy of your terrible troubles. Would you sign it?
Oh my dear, of course.
Oh, this will be grand. A nephew gonna like this. And he basically has a copy of your second book, and kind of puts it out
We're going to do Tuneful Titan, Spell Song, Trella Tremblewind.
there. But thank you, Mr. Tremblewind. And like I said, just don't tell Papali's. I mean, otherwise, a nice folk. Just probably try and make an extra few bucks off some business and all.
I understand. And if your pie, this is the pie maker, right?
The Papalis were the ones that Tella was talking to earlier that seemed to be a little nervous
Trent, yeah.
about something. I'm sorry,
Trent.
Trent was talking to earlier. That seemed a little nervous about something.
Okay.
Before we go, I'm gonna pull out a copy of the first one,
Okay.
the first Terrible Troubles, and hand it to Tella to sign for the man.
Oh,
Of course.
rightfully gracious. Thank you, Marquis. Oh, I always did like your families. Hey, I think they do good. I think some of the other nobles need a good watching over.
And keep your eyes out for your nephew. In a couple of months, there should be a new book coming out.
Oh,
Hopefully a collaboration between two noble houses. Great noble houses, I should say.
well, I look forward to getting that one too, adding it to my collection.
You've been much too helpful, my good sir.
Yeah,
We appreciate your time.
and I appreciate yours, Lord. Thank you. He carries on.
I'm going to round everyone together. If I'm going to like fly over and just like ask, not really trying to be subtle. I'm Tella. I'm not subtle.
Would you
But
like?
just trying
Would you
round
like to
everyone
fly
over.
again? Can you handle it? Can you handle it?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I
Well,
want to be
about to ask. I was about to ask one of the guards where the debris is all moved to.
The guards basically he doesn't really know. Probably to a quarry to be recycled. They'll pound it into gravel, or just
So
dumped.
if there's barrels that have markings on them that have been moved to this area, I'd want to check them out.
He's not aware of that.
Okay.
But
So are we going to gather together before we head over there and investigate the barrels, I guess? Are we going to...
yeah, so
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Trent is
If I get the
moving.
chance,
Yeah, go for it.
sorry.
Trent is
I just want to round everyone together
okay.
when we get a chance.
So everybody can get together.
Where are we?
Let's head over.
Yeah, you're all together.
Okay,
I'm
I don't
gonna-
know where.
There are 6 of us, right?
5, I believe.
I think Eldor's hanging out somewhere. Eldor's he's silent but around.
Eldor,
Okay.
Winston, and I are in front of the blast building.
6 pies. That way they're
Okay.
at least busy for a bit baking them.
I am going to cast raries on us while we're together. If I can find everyone, I'm coming. I'm moving very
Here,
slowly.
I'm just kind of teleporting you guys near where Trent is.
You're casting what on us? I'm sorry?
Rary's telepathic mind.
Telepathic bond.
No, I was going to do the exact same thing. All right, cool. All right, never mind.
Oh, you got it.
He does. He
Whatever.
is the second person who has Rary's. The force of Aramar used it. Very nice. So Trent, as you kind of you now have Rary's, as Trent is smiling a wry smile, as there appear to be 4 barrels kind of tucked away behind the little pie shop, and just on the edge of one you can see the O'Brien family label. It just kind of is barely visible.
They're a merchant's family, right? Not a noble family.
No, the O'Brien is a noble family.
Oh, they are a noble family.
They are a noble
They're stealing from a noble. Oh, my gosh.
Regicide. Let's go kill him.
Is this woman still eating her pie?
Do the roar.
The woman who had bought one, yeah, she'll leave.
In public.
But the owners,
Okay.
she goes over to the common area. She got her pie, so she's over in the common area eating.
Yeah, buy the 6 pies, 1 for each of us.
Thank
Already
you,
checked the gold away.
thank you. And at this point, your insight was already high enough. You're back. he's sweating a little bit. It's like, and you're not sure that it's coming from the furnace.
Mentally, so, how are we doing this? Do you want me to be direct?
Jennifer's never
No, there's-
experienced telepathic communication. He's like, "Whoa."
Be direct and nice. Yeah, let's just try and be nice first. Yeah.
There's still a noble family in the circle of nobles. We need to be as careful as we can. We don't want any.
Well, the Papalis aren't.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the O'Brien.
No, the
Yeah.
They
no,
stole
no.
from a noble. Yeah, they
The
stole
barrels-
O'Brien's barrel, yeah.
Yeah, the barrels are O'Brien ale. Well, they're O'Brien King's Ale barrels.
But what's
Yeah,
in it?
How much
Well, they already-
are barrels of ale typically?
Uh,
When you need him.
so this would be. Let me see here.
Where's Brad?
Da, 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 da.
I'll send him a sending. Brad, how much is this ale?
You're like, what? Of course. And I can't quite do Brand's voice. Let's see. Where is Meals of the Valley? Here we go. Let's see. This is the King's Ale. It is a comfortable ale. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not going for a time. Maybe 250 gold, but this was one of their low batches, so it would be about 100 gold.
Each or all together?
No, per barrel. One of the casks, because King's Ale is actually a comfortable level brew. It's actually pretty good. So by the label itself of the barrel, a barrel would be about 200 gold.
All right. Am I going direct? I'm like mentally, am I going direct?
Yes, they already know who we are. If they're not a part of the noble houses.
So, Mr. Papali,
Yes. He kind of nervously cracks out.
thank
need-
you for rescuing the King's Ale. May I offer you a cash reward?
Darn it, Wanda! I knew we should have moved the barrels. You said that nobody was gonna claim them. I'm sorry,
Thank you
my
for
lord.
rescuing them.
Oh, yes,
So I wish
rescued. That's right. Rescued? Yes. And he kind of smacks his wife. Rescued.
God.
It's government property. This is a repossession.
Of course, we
Um,
keeping them safe, making sure the O'Brien family got what they wanted. As he looks at his wife, and she's finally kind of clicking to it.
So I-
Stare at them hard.
You can tell they are,
Catch me drift.
yeah.
10 platinum. Cash reward sound good?
10 platinum sounds perfect as a reward. Very kind of you, Marquis. Very kind of you. She's like, we
I
was
would
gonna
also-
use it to sell for the ale. It's lots of money. It's rescued ale, Wanda. Now go make a pie.
And I'm sure the O'Brien family would also like to give you a reward because this is very precious to them.
Of course, yes. We
And-
didn't say nothing
and the-
sooner because, well, you're not O'Brien. That's
Exactly,
That's
that
what
makes
we was
sense.
thinking. It was. Yes, Wanda, it was. That's what we was thinking.
It also makes sense that because you are so kind, that my next ball, I would like you to be the caterers, so that your name will be known all
See
around
that?
the noble circles.
See that, Wanda? We gonna cater a ball at Triple House. We are? Well, that'd be nice. I'd like to cater a ball. I can make my best pies.
So you're rewarding a thief. Okay, interesting.
Mentally, I said my next ball. Anyone who knows me knows I do not throw balls. That is Tella.
I don't know about that, but
I'll know you.
What?
it's like I think that's the what I want to say. The first time we've ever heard that Treant doesn't throw balls.
Hey, I still have the diagrams.
I got it.
Thank you.
Peter John, look over at the dwarf. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's working on the last one.
These kind people rescued your last few barrels, I think, and
Did they?
yeah,
Oh.
isn't that very kind of them?
Well, the O'Brien's gonna be very happy there were more barrels left. Huh. I'm gonna have to make 2 trips, but that's okay. I get paid by the trip.
Can we check these barrels before we let them go, just to see what's in them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, by all means, you can check the barrels. So you have no problem checking through the barrels. Let's see. Looking through the barrels, you do notice that 3 of the 4 barrels contain ale. The last barrel does not, as it is full of a black powder.
Bum, bum, bum.
Labels, like shipping labels and anything like that still on the barrels, anything like that? Probably not.
USPS.
No. All it says
exactly,
is,
yeah.
all it has is the
No
O'Brien
safety,
family, and it says King's Ale.
Right.
Judging, give me actually, Tella had a really good alchemy check. Judging from the size of what's in the barrel and what you're looking at in the blast, you can assume that probably 2 barrels exploded. This 3rd barrel would have probably leveled the other side of the storage facility had it exploded as well.
Well,
So let's mark that barrel with the black powder in it. Make sure that's kind of handled differently.
Yeah.
Just let the there's like King's Watch or something we want to let know about this one around close by, or tell them what.
Alrighty. So yeah, you can pull the barrels aside, set them out for Peter Johns to get, or you can do something else with the black powder barrel, or what are you gonna do? Although you have evidence, sort of, circumstantial as it may be. Go ahead.
Yeah, we still don't know how it got there, though. That's the thing.
Mentally, do we report this to the guards?
So who was the guy that was nervously moving barrels that wouldn't aid across the alleyway?
I'm sorry? One more time?
So there was a guy that was helping move the barrels that the couple on the other side of the alleyway brought him in for like
Yes.
dinner or breakfast or something.
So George the
Who was
porter had brought in about what he's kind of told the Dubois was about half of the shipment when he went to eat eggs. So half of 10, maybe 6 barrels he had managed to take inside. As he probably, knowing kind of a comment, he would have probably taken them inside the door, put them in the middle of the room, and then somebody inside would be moving them to store. Kind of like a chain. And so, but while he was gone eating eggs, he had just come back outside when the explosion happened. So one of the barrels that had black powder was left back in the alleyway and did not explode of the original explosion. Now, he had roughly 10 identical barrels. He didn't know which was which because the weights were all about the same. Once you kind of investigate them, if you're paying real close attention, you can tell, one kind of sloshes while the other one barely shifts. But if he's just unloading them and carting them inside the middle of the room, he may not have known the difference. Although your street person says there was a fancily dressed man who was also with Mr. Turnbull as well that was not the Baron, because he did not recognize that man as the Baron.
Can we ask anybody else about that other man? Or so either investigate that, or I'm guessing go back to the O'Briens and see if we figure out where the shipment might have come from, or where the black powder might have been, intervened or added to the shipment. I don't know.
It is a good question. Questions in which the group can answer online as this wraps up the warehouse investigation.
Before we
Did we wrap
leave,
up anything? Did we figure out anything? All right.
before we leave, can I do one thing?
Sure.
As everyone starts to leave the Papilis, I'm going to hover there, stay back. I'm going to gingerly get off my broom and walk towards them, and I'm going to say, Mr. Papili and Mrs. Papili, thankfully, you have been dealt with the compassionate Marquis Trian Tremblewind.
Oh, of course, he's very compassionate. Very compassionate.
He lives true to his name.
He's
I don't forgive deception
Very
so easily.
don't
You
ca-
are hereby going to I'm trying to say, I can't think of words.
Then you can't say.
Thumbs are -2 to intimidation.
Yeah, minus two.
yeah.
Minus 2 to
No.
intimidation.
You're
Disadvantage.
going
I had it all
to
figured-
At disadvantage.
I had it all figured out.
You are here to. I'm
I had it all
sorry.
figured out a second ago. Bound to House Tremblewind, to pay off your debt that Lord Marquis Tremblewind has very graciously given you.
But I'm not in debt.
If you will pay back that debt,
What debt?
the 10 platinum pieces.
Oh. Well, here you go. He hands it to you. I don't
Let me
want to
see.
be in debt. Thought it was a gift. He gave it to you. Why'd you go
He
give
did give
away
it to
for?
you, but you did deceive this entire and manipulate this entire situation.
Well,
That is what I'm getting at.
we told the truth when you asked. I mean, you weren't the O'Briens. I mean,
This is
the
a
whole
beautiful interaction.
explosion done ruined our business for the whole day. We just thought nobody else was going to use it. Mr. Turnbull was dead. He was a nice man, though.
My. You are a smarmy fellow, aren't you?
Yeah. I do make a nice humble pie. Would you like a slice of humble pie?
My good sir, let's hope that your business still stands after this offense.
I will make sure it does. I love the pie.
Fine. Take your platinum.
Sounds like a threat.
He turns away and goes back to work. And this is where we will end this session. So thanks everybody for watching online. As you have watched, you guys will be able to go through the clues and evidence that you have and add it to the clues and evidence section for the Time of Troubles. It's a thread in the main Time of Troubles information channel. So there's clues and evidence thread. So copy and paste what you will from your perspective before I shut that down. And thanks for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. And we will catch you next time on A Time of Troubles.
Outstanding. Thanks, folks.
We'll go to the outro.